That's Delightful,
a member of the Pod Bros Network.
Welcome to That's Delightful. Online at facebook.com/That's Delightful. Now time for That's Delightful.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
So yeah, what the hell is that? I thought you guys were just being clever, and then I realized it's a thing.
It's a meme. Kelly is taken aback by the meme. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
I have to know the context for that.
It's just a meme that Michelle found. Was it a meme? It was just a meme.
It was just a meme.
I'm going to leave the room saying this every single time. Stay fresh, cheese bags. I think that's awesome.
I do too. I actually put it in the group chat, Kelly.
Are you afraid of your microphone?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, are we bantering?
Hey, we're bantering.
Oh, so you gotta warn me before.
Hey guys, wow, recording episode 90. Hi.
Keep the spontaneous banter, but point it in the direction of this recording device.
Take it back, episode 89. My bad.
Dude,
89?
getting ahead of yourself.
Getting ahead of myself. Well, 11 more and we hit that magical 100.
Yay.
I don't know what we're going to do on that magical 100, but we'll hit the magical 100.
I would say go to Disneyland, but we're going to let our passes go.
We're going to let those expire.
Don't do that, you guys.
Well, you know.
Come on.
Money.
Yeah.
Money is a beautiful thing. When I can afford to pay for the pass outright, I'll buy it. That's what I figure.
Yeah, Michelle has
Just
aspirations
do that.
of us living that big baller life. When I can just, here's my debit card. Pay for it all.
Do you accept plastic?
We're flush with $50 bills. What asshole still uses a $50 bill? Okay.
Doesn't it feel kind of nice to have a 50? It's just kind of like, although nothing costs 50 anymore, even a video
Right.
game is going to.
I feel a
Break
$50
$100.
bill is more pretentious than a $100 bill. If I see somebody pull out a stack of $100 bills, I'll think to myself, they got paid. They get
Right.
paid in hundreds. If I see somebody pull out a stack of $50 bills, I think they requested $50
They
bills
did. They had to request.
to show that I have a fat stack of 50s. The Oscars are coming out. This is my Super Bowl. This is your Super Bowl. This is what you and I look forward to every year.
Yeah, for people who don't like massive
Super
head
Bowl?
trauma
Yeah.
and
Misogyny.
yeah,
That's,
alpha male aggression celebrated as national pastime.
hey, a lot of people like football, and I love those people who like football.
Not your jam.
Who's in the actual Super Bowl this year? It's the Patriotics and the Rammers.
Yes. The
Now that's a combination I could get used to.
the Union and the Goats.
The I remember in grad school, the chair of our program was a huge Rams fan, and the big joke was the Rams suck, like as bad as the Warriors always sucked, right? Am I remembering this right, or is that a different?
What year would that have been?
This would have been 10 years ago.
10 years. Okay, then yes.
Have they been good for a minute now?
No, they.
The Rams.
They were. I think they were good last year.
I'm just digging deep for my football knowledge here. I knew a guy who liked one of these football clubs.
The Rams' real heyday was Kurt Warner, right around 99, 2000, 2001.
Oh.
So this is a resurgence for them.
See, my husband, he knows the sports.
I know the sports. I was a Rams fan in my younger years,
Oh, yeah?
so now I just don't give a shit. But I'm going to watch anyway. Hey, we're recording this on Super Bowl day. Super Bowl doesn't start for another couple of hours. But
My main interest in the Super Bowl this year is that the
Avengers
universally
trailer.
adored band Maroon 5 is performing the halftime show, and rumor is they're going to do a tribute to SpongeBob SquarePants,
No.
who in one of their episodes had a halftime show that was the actual objective best halftime show of all time, actually second to the Prince halftime show, which was the best of all time. But
I love Maroon 5.
They sang sort of a hair band.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, Maroon 5 is supposed to do a little SpongeBob shout out because the creator died this year.
Hey, speaking of hair bands, do you remember Discover Card did a commercial, I want to say like 15 years ago, and they used a fake hairband called Danger Kitty?
No, but that sounds wonderful.
And it was what was it? It was like the hairband. They rose to success, and it was Danger Kitty, and they were in front of the mansion, and they had their Lamborghinis. It was classic like 80s rock star.
Lambo.
Yeah. And then they were all broke, and then they built their credit back up, and they got Discover cards. Anyway, at one of my radio station events, the station I worked for got the actual Danger Kitty from the commercial to do Summerfest for us.
Wow, really?
as Danger Kitty. They're actually originally they're a Van Halen. They're actually a group. They're called Atomic. I think they're called Atomic Punk. Anyway, they're a Van Halen cover band, and they got picked to do this Discover Card commercial. They're out of the Bay Area, so they came down here to Modesto to do a Summerfest as Danger Kitty from the Discover commercial. It was kind of cool.
And I
That
was
is
like,
pretty cool.
Emilio.
And he turned around and he tipped his hat like this. Hey, when the Oscars do come around, though, who do you have for Best Picture? We have Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice.
I think A Star Is Born will win for popularity, but it shouldn't. I think it should go to either... I liked Black Panther a lot, but I cannot see a Marvel movie.
I would love it if Black Panther
Green
were to
Book will win.
You liked Black Klansman, though? You said that it was good,
Black
right?
Klansman was great. Have you
So
seen Black
that might
Klansman yet?
win.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
Yeah, Black Klansman was
Really
so good.
kind of like super underappreciated.
Yeah, I keep trying to get her to watch it with me, and the racist
watch
part of
it.
her is like, nah, I'm good.
No, it's the,
She's like, I care about the plight of black people, but like not 2 hours worth.
From the show Wrecked, we've got 1 hour's worth of battery left on our DVD player. Do we watch Biodome or Selma?
I love Selma.
Will you watch Black Klansman with me, Michelle?
I don't know. So here's the problem. I don't want to have rules and regulations on what I'm doing when I'm watching the movie. If I'm on my phone and the movie's playing, let me watch the movie the way that I want to watch the movie. That's why I don't like watching
Okay,
movies
will
with
you watch the movie and stare at your phone a little bit from the couch with me with Black Klansman instead of your chair?
Sure.
15 feet behind me?
Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
the definition of privilege, but yes, you do your thing.
Wow. Really?
So the Oscars are there's like weird politics that go into what happens, and I almost care like more about that. When I was a kid, it was just like the Oscars are going to tell me what the best movie this year was, and I'll
Right.
believe them. And now it's more like, I wonder what the rich white people think was good this year. And the last couple of years have been interesting because they're really trying hard to inject some
not.
diversity, or at least appear to. So you get movies like Black Panther getting a nomination.
It's got
It was
black in the title, guys.
No, that was a great fucking movie.
It
That
was,
a
and
great movie.
A lot of people like the tension with the Oscars is always like a bunch of artsy films that nobody saw get nominated, and nothing that anybody actually cared about or saw gets nominated.
Like
Not
Sideways.
this year.
Like historical epics and historical biopics, they get a lot of love, and comedies, which are much harder to make, a really good comedy, don't ever get nominated. Science fiction, like genre movies, never get nominated. So now they're trying hard. They're like throwing a bone. But you also get movies like fucking Bohemian Rhapsody, which was a lovely film with some
Yes.
great performances,
is
but it was
an
not the
Urs-
best picture
no,
of the year.
It wasn't. I know Ian might disagree because he loves that movie, but it really wasn't.
Yeah,
And
just fact checking.
Star is Born was definitely not.
No, and it sort of peaked early. So this is the other thing I love about it is like there's always like a common sense favorite. Like, oh, it's going to be A Star is Born this year. This is its coronation tour, and then it'll peak early, and like public sentiment will turn against it, and there's a backlash. So it's always fun to see like which one rides the wave. And right now, there's this sort of the Green Book is.
I was going to say, the Green Book can do no wrong right now.
I haven't seen Green Book. It
I've
looks,
seen the beginning of it, and it doesn't look bad.
it just
No,
doesn't
it was
look-
made by the Farrelly brothers who made, or Peter Farrelly, one of the Farrelly brothers who made Dumb and Dumber,
right.
and Me, Myself, and Irene. So that's fun. But it's one of those movies where it's like, oh,
It does have that flavor to
a
it.
black man and a white man really had some
That's-
things to teach each other, didn't they?
So it's like that's gonna win just because it's got the coming together message.
You're a white man coming to talk to me, but you turned your seat around and sat in it backwards. You've been around that black guy, haven't you?
Nod to the Mrs. White Lady reference. Amy Schumer.
Okay, so you're gonna go Green Book.
I think, I don't know.
I think it's gonna be Black Panther.
So if they were smart, that's what they would do. It would be really cool. If Green Book wins, you'll see an outcry because there is a lot of public sentiment against it because it's a really simplified version of like, this is how we can all gain more tolerance.
Well, like
if
The
we all
Blind
just
Side.
sat down and learned about each other, yeah.
Right, The Blind Side and it's the kind of like, oh look, a white person learns the error of their ways and now nobody sees color, everybody's together, and
Yeah.
it's not.
Did you know that black people can play the piano? And really well.
They might not be very smart.
He
in
assumed I
those
had a
movies.
bass guitar in my attic. He was wrong. We all learned something today. So Vice is on that list. Have you seen Vice yet?
No, I have, I think, 3 of those movies that I still need to see. I need to see Vice, I need to see Green Book, and I need to see Roma, which actually people are saying is the actual best film. It's in Spanish, and it's supposed to be really amazing. It's on Netflix. It's the first Netflix movie to get nominated for Best Picture. I'm going to clear out at night and watch it. It's set in southern Mexico. It's about the sort of lower middle class that work as nannies and housekeepers in Mexico.
I'll watch that with you.
I want to watch it.
We should watch it.
So I've seen 5 of the 8 nominated for Best Picture.
Which one was Vice?
Vice was the one about Dick Cheney.
Oh, okay.
That was in the comedy category in the Golden Globes. Everyone asked why it was in the comedy, and then I watched it. I said, I know why it was in the comedy. It was meant to be kind of funny.
Yeah,
It's
Adam McKay made it.
Yeah, it was an okay movie. They're not kind to Dick Cheney at all. Like,
If they had been, it would have been strange.
I can't watch Christian Bale speak again in his native tongue.
After hearing
you barely
accent.
barely realize it's Christian Bale when you watch Vice.
No,
It's
I don't.
Dick fucking Cheney.
It doesn't matter. I can't see him talk again.
Okay,
because
so-
it fucks my Batman perception up.
Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Willem Dafoe, Rami Malek, or Viggo Mortensen, lead actor.
Okay, go over those again.
Christian Bale, Vice, Bradley Cooper, Star, Willem Dafoe, An Eternity's Gate, Rami Malek, Bohemian, or Viggo Mortensen, Green Book.
Well, I would go with. I don't think Rami Malek actually stepped outside of Rami Malek,
He was really good, but
but that seems to be his character.
yeah.
In general, he's good at that one.
I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to Christian Bale.
But I'm curious, why wasn't Michael B. Jordan in that?
He wasn't the lead actor
He was
in Black
supporting
Panther.
actor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was he
that's
nominated?
right. Okay.
In supporting?
He
Supporting
should be
actor
nominated.
Is no. Oh, Oscar So White.
So how you have the
Oscar So White.
Black Panther and Black Klansman in as two of the best. That's where it looks like you fucking pander.
Michael
Chadwick-
B. Jordan was what made that movie like Best Picture
the-
caliber.
That line in the movie where he says, "Throw me in the water," and like is probably one of the most prolific lines.
So Chadwick
This year.
Boseman, not for lead actor. Michael B. Jordan, not the lead supporting actor, but Black Panther, Best Picture.
I don't necessarily think Chadwick Boseman should be nominated. I think he's great in that movie. Michael B. Jordan made that movie.
Yeah.
Michael B.
Yeah, I
Jordan's
agree.
a phenomenal
I agree.
actor.
I agree.
Going back to the movies real quick, though, there's one movie that, of the ones I've seen, is probably my favorite. It's called The Favorite.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys need to see this movie.
It's at the State Theater. They keep advertising it. I want to see it.
It's fucking weird and awesome. It's about really, really rich royal people and their shenanigans.
Is it in the Victorian? Is that? one
Yeah,
set
it's
in Victorian?
Queen something, and it's about
Bobs.
the two women who are sort of vying for her affection.
Ladies in Wait.
And the cool thing about it is that there are men in it, but they're all idiots. Like, they're all inconsequential, and it's clear that the women sort of run this world. The men are like in throwing tomatoes at other naked men and like having duck races, and
So
the women are sleeping with each other and like arranging military actions.
Are there boobs?
You know, I don't.
see,
I don't recall.
that's why they make the men dumb. I'm just saying.
She was trying to sell a series to me yesterday. My first question: Are there boobs?
It was the Natasha Lyonne, the Russian doll. Have
On
you seen
Netflix.
it?
Oh no, I've heard it's really good.
I watched the first episode. And it was good.
Amy Poehler produced it, so I really want to see it.
I love Natasha Lyonne. Like, she's one of those actresses.
I feel like I know who that is.
You
Who's that?
absolutely do.
Natasha
She was
Lyonne.
She's in. Do you ever
American
watch?
Pie, the one that was showing her how to do the blowjob.
I have not seen American Pie.
I'm sorry. What?
It came. It's in the donut hole. It was when I was in Mexico.
Orange is the New Black.
I was. No, I've not seen that either.
Jesus Christ, man!
Christ, how do you?
I don't
not-
have to watch Orange is the New Black. I lived it.
You didn't live Orange is the New Black.
I was in a relationship at the time where I was forbidden to watch Orange is the New Black, which is one of the reasons I knew not to be in that relationship anymore.
Why?
Because of boobies.
You couldn't watch
Natasha
movies.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her.
She was
Isn't
a
she
new
in
girl.
Orange is the New Black?
Huh?
Suck a dick. Lead actress. Yalitza Aparicio for Roma. Glenn Close, the wife. Olivia Colman, the favorite. Lady Gaga, Star is Born. Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Jesus
Olivia
Christ.
Coleman. She's the best part of The Favorite. I'm not kidding. You guys need to see this movie.
No,
It's
I
so
was talking
cool.
about, like, seriously, why did they nominate
Lady
Black
Gaga?
No, why did they
Oh.
nominate Black Klansman in?
Yeah.
So it's like
Usually the best way you can tell a fuck you is if a movie's nominated for Best Picture, but the director is not nominated for Best Director, you can tell that was like throwing them a bone because they're just like, oh yeah, no, hey, best picture, cool, but a director makes the movie.
Adam Driver's in there for supporting actor for Black Klansman.
He's good in Black Klansman.
Oh, he's great in...
Right. Where are the black people being nominated, though, is my question.
Yeah, hey, you know what? That's a really good point.
So that's my thing. It's like all
Didn't
of the
Spike
white
Lee get nominated
people.
for director at least, though? He better
Spike
have.
Lee for Black Klansman.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So,
But what about-
shut up, black people, you
Right.
got your nomination. God.
Do we say now that racism is over? It no longer exists? Have you seen the Oscar nominees? I think we fixed America.
I mean, you've
Thank
got-
you, Donald Trump. Thank you. I'll make you a deal, Michelle. Watch Black Klansman with me tonight. I'll watch The Favorite with you tomorrow.
I don't
Everybody's
really care.
going to win in that arrangement.
Everyone
you guys.
wins. Everyone wins. This is a win-win.
Did I?
She's not begging you to watch The Favorite.
I wasn't, though.
Now she's never going to watch The Favorite, just to be contrary.
All right. I really wanted to watch Black Klansman with me. It's a really good movie.
It's really good.
Why do we have to watch all the things together?
Can we have? I mean, can we have a date?
Do I watch?
Do you hear this? I'm
you.
I am being admonished right now for wanting to spend time with my wife and watch a movie with her.
Spend all his time with me.
For thinking that she might enjoy a certain film and saying maybe we can watch it together because I take enjoyment in your enjoyment.
Oh my God, no! He's very loving. My husband.
Yeah, it's almost like he found somebody he wants to spend the rest of his life with. And to him, spend the rest of his life actually means like spend some of that time with.
You know what hurts the most
his
though?
beloved.
Is when those strong feelings are there.
Yeah.
And it's one-sided.
And you're just like, can we please be just close right now? I just want to be us against the world.
And even
you're
though
like,
it's
yeah, but from the other side of the house. Though.
Even though it's one-sided, I can't break myself away because the love is so strong.
That's really sad.
Do you sit outside the door and like paw at the door?
No, he gives me the looks though. He gives me the puppy looks, like the wounded.
Do you start walking away and like?
Do you know how I have to get her to
Just
come
be like,
cuddle in bed with me?
Okay.
I have to come out and say, hey, I promise I won't try anything. You don't have to do anything with me. Just cuddle time in bed for a second.
And then he still tries shit.
Oh,
That's
man.
the fun part.
I know.
And that's why it doesn't happen.
I know.
You're like, what creative way is he gonna find to start some shit?
Hey, do we talk about Ralph Northam?
Yeah.
Virginia
I
Governor?
guess we'd better.
I don't.
Since we've been talking about how racist the Oscars apparently are not now, because a few black people have been nominated.
No, it's not even. That's not even it. It's like there's a bunch of movies that are nominated that are made by people of color,
Right.
And there's no people of color nominated for the movies that are being nominated. So that's interesting.
Well, the other big movie is If Beale Street Could Talk.
Regina King.
Yeah, I think she got nominated for Best Supporting. So again, everybody just quit your belly aching because
That sounds
kidding,
so bad.
of course. What's that?
I said that sounds so bad.
So what's the timeline on Ralph Northam? He's the governor out of Virginia, and the picture came out where it was supposedly or allegedly him and another classmate. One was in blackface, one was dressed as a Klansman. They weren't really sure who was he, and he would say, "I'm not sure which one I am." But
Which one would you rather be? Which one is less offensive
Honestly,
in that context?
You go
like-
blackface.
Right.
I guess so,
Every
yeah.
time.
Every time.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna have to, I mean, you're gonna have to come out and explain this later. Without a shadow of a doubt that the KKK is fucking racist. People are really stupid. They don't realize the racism behind blackface. They really don't. You think it's funny, or you think it's like, why is it offensive? I'm not doing anything bad. A lot of people don't see it, and I know that.
I was waiting for him to be like, I just didn't feel comfortable being that racist.
Right. So I'm wondering if he's actually the one in the KKK costume and he doesn't want to have to admit that.
So there was calls for his resignation, and then he comes out and he says, just in the last 24 hours, actually, hold on. It wasn't me at all. I'm neither of those two people in that picture.
Oh.
So he acknowledged that the picture existed, said he wasn't sure which one was his, apologized for taking part in the picture, and then has come out and said, actually, I'm not in the picture at all.
You can almost see the meeting with a bunch of like PR people like, wait, can anybody prove that's you? And he's like, well, I mean, technically, no. I'm the one in the KKK suit. So
Right. Nobody
they're
knows.
like, well, fucking deny it. He's like, but I already told people. Like, no, just deny it.
No, just come back and say, oh, no. I wonder if he had a meeting with Squee that day.
You have one publicist looking at him saying, "You're wearing a fucking mask. They can't see you. How is this hard for you to understand? You could have said this wasn't you from the beginning."
That would have been Ian. Ian is Shaggy. It wasn't me all day. I don't care.
I am
Do they have proof?
deny.
I watched you do it. No, you didn't.
There was one time at work when we got our brand new computer system. We had just changed from the Modesto to the Stockton office, and we had this whole new system to upload MP3s into the server for commercials. And so I was deleting something off of the server, and I was supposed to delete one thing, and I accidentally deleted like 800 commercials at one time. But we had just gotten the building built. We had just gotten the offices set up. And so like IT was on it, but IT wasn't super on it. So I just closed out my computer, got up, closed my office door, walked out, went home.
Just kept walking.
Answered my phone like normal when my boss called about an hour and a half later. He says, "Hey, did you delete anything off of the file manager from your office?" Well, yeah, I deleted a couple of things, but that's about it. Like, what 2 things did you delete? Well, I deleted these 2 things right here. Did you delete anything else? No. I mean, if I did, I certainly don't know. Anything else at all? No, not a thing. Because 800 commercials have been deleted from back in your office, and we're just not sure which computer it was on. Gosh, I really don't know. I mean, that's just...
You're telling me it could be one of several?
That's just
Well,
interesting. Is there anything I can do to help? Well, no, but there's 2 people that have to stay here until about 2 o'clock in the morning now putting new commercials in. Wow, that sucks for them.
Were you at Cumulus or was that iHeart?
No, that was Cumulus.
Okay, don't acknowledge that on the radio.
Oh, no, I've already acknowledged it at work.
I'm like, come on, man.
That was like 7 years ago.
Statute of limitations on erasing commercials is like 6 months.
But my whole thing was like, sure didn't. Nope, not me. Didn't happen. Oh, man. Anyway.
So it's all, I mean, it's awful.
It is.
It's awful to be in that picture. It's more than regular awful. It's like extra awful.
It is. I don't dispute that, but when we look at like, I don't know enough about Northam to have an opinion on him either way. Outside of this is really the first I've heard.
Right.
Aside from Bernie Sanders refused to endorse him. In 2016, but I'm not really sure how we approach these things now, because when you look at Kevin Hart, we all love Kevin Hart. Well, I love Kevin Hart. You don't have to love him.
I super like him.
But Kevin Hart said some really awful shit in the name of comedy. And he's acknowledged it, and he
apologized years ago for it.
He apologized years ago. He apologized again. He has taken himself out of the spotlight. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that the people in those groups should not be offended. I'm not saying any of that. But I do think we need to start talking about when we can have a discussion about things that used to be okay, because they were. And we have to acknowledge that as a society. At the time, that was okay. It shouldn't have been. Right. But it was acceptable.
So what's the shelf life on that then? So say somebody comes out with pictures of me doing something awful from 15 years ago. How long, 15, 20 years ago, how long do you keep paying the price on stuff like that?
Well, that's the thing, is I don't think there's necessarily a shelf life, because I don't want to minimize it. It's completely unacceptable behavior. My point is that I promise you, I don't give a shit how woke. I'm speaking mostly to white people here. The woke white people, the ones that are turning in judgment, and the ones that are saying, I want, Northam calling for his head, and they are playing the I am holier than thou, the self-righteous card. And it's like, I guarantee you, if we look in your past, you've laughed at a racist joke, you've made a racist joke, you've done something racist, you've done something homophobic, unintentional or intentional, you've done it. And do you want that years later to resurface and destroy your entire life? Now, I don't think Northam approached it the right way. And I think that's his biggest flaw, because what you do is you come out and you own it. I did it. Kevin Hart, I think, really did the right thing. He owned it. First, he got defensive, but he owned it. He said, all right, I'm going to do this. And this is how, I plan to make it better. And he moved on. I think Northam is denying and minimizing, and now he's backpedaling even further, and it's making it worse. You're digging yourself a hole. So now he's paying the consequences of his actions for today. So,
for sure.
But you really do have to look at yourself and really question, have I ever made or stated something or even had thoughts that now are racist? I have. I used to hang out with a whole bunch of white upper middle class kids. And what you get there is, I've been to a Halloween party where someone dressed in blackface. He dressed as Don King. And at the time I thought it was funny. I was 21. And I thought that was funny. I wouldn't have done it personally, but it took a long time for me to recognize really how deep racism goes and what it means and how that affects people. I'm not gonna beat myself up over things that I did when I was 21 years old. If people want to hold you accountable, then that's up to them. That's what the voters are for. So, he'll pay for it in the polls.
Yeah, it's just that we've talked about this a few times, I think, on this podcast. There is a feeding frenzy that happens that keeps this from being a positive national growing experience. It becomes, okay, this is my side of the argument. I know what your side's going to be. Let's tear each other apart. And watching the news cover this thing, that's what it's been like. The Republicans are gleeful that there's a Democrat who has a picture in blackface.
Right.
So they are shocked and appalled and outraged, even though all their policies and the behavior of many of their people elected into office, including Steve King, who has ongoing behavior that matches this picture. And there are people still refusing to condemn him. So it's people, bombing the other guy, but supporting the people on their side who do the same shit. And it's just boring. The
one thing I really hope that people, consider or look at is, why is this coming out now? Virginia is a battleground state. It's actually a very moderate Democrat state as well. It's not quite liberal like we are. So when you remove a Democratic governor and you look at districting lines and you're looking at all these gubernatorial issues that are coming up, why is this coming out now? Where is this coming from now? I mean, it's just interesting how things tend to come out at times that compromise it can compromise an entire political system. So, I mean, you can call for his head. I really don't care. Virginia's not my state anyway. But I just think...
Virginia, not my state anyway.
I just really think that we need to figure out how to do this productively. I mean, and that was actually, I read an article and it brought up a really good point, and it kind of, validated what I was thinking. But the one thing that liberals really need to work on is the consistency of their message. And we talk about the criminal justice system and incarceration and recidivism and forgiveness and helping people, move on and become better people than their circumstances that made them, except when it comes to this.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, no, you're expected to be above and beyond, and now you are not allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah, it's so momentarily gratifying to feast on someone who turns out to not be as good as we thought they were. And there are times when, like with Harvey Weinstein, that was a long time coming and needed to happen.
Bill Cosby.
Kevin Spacey, Bill Cosby, some of these guys. And it's dangerous to get into comparing the relative severity of past actions. But, I think something worth highlighting here is that the Republicans and the Democrats have approached situations like this very differently. Republicans have been deny. In this case, the apology has been not well done. But the tendency of Democrats, at least recently, has been to own their shit and punish their own, sometimes to a degree that doesn't match what happened. Al Franken, there's still a lot of people saying the Democrats sacrificed Al Franken over to the woke gods or whatever you want to call them. And you also have people running for president right now, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris. They're going through a process right now of apologizing for anything they can think of that people are going to use to throw at them because that's the new model. It's like, well, everybody has access to everything we've ever done now.
You got an 8 Mile and before that.
Yeah.
I am white. I do
Well-
live in a trailer park with my mom. I am white trash.
I already see people like when it comes. So right now, I'm like, cool. As many people who want to run for president, throw your hat in. Do it. I'm tired of people who are like, no, I don't want to see that person.
Right.
My best
Oh my
friend Cheddar
God.
Bomb shot his balls.
You done?
Hang on, I got one more. Because he mentioned Bill Cosby earlier.
No,
Oh,
don't.
here it comes.
Don't.
Put the pill in the inmate's pudding popping into Harvey Weinstein does not the food the force and then he's not a criminal.
Please don't do that. Sexual assault is not funny.
But Bill Cosby jokes. Bill Cosby voice is funny. I played the basketball with the pudding pop and the boys with the ball and the hoop outside.
I don't even know what I was saying.
I fucking treasure you guys.
She can't figure out
Stop.
what to say with the
Seriously.
pudding pop.
Oh, man. This is like the most reliable form of entertainment for me is
Jesus.
when he starts doing Cosby voice and you just get like... I wish you guys could all see Michelle's face when she knows Cosby voice is coming. She gets... It's like the most constipated look you've ever seen. And she puts her hand over her face and says, oh, Lord. Oh, man.
Hey,
An
you're a doctor.
embarrassment.
I am. It is me. I am.
I want to run
God.
something by you.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
don't.
Let's do this.
Kelly?
So the other day, she's attempting to peel a banana, and she's having a hard time. Okay.
As one does. Oh.
So listen. So she takes her fingernail and she's like making a slit in the side of the banana to make an entry point to jam her finger in there.
There was already
and
an
then,
entry point.
And then open it up at the top of the stem where the stem curls out. Now, if you've ever watched clickbait, everybody knows that you don't eat a banana by peeling from the long part of the stem. You peel from what you perceive to be the bottom of the banana. You peel it open that way. And she's having a hard
What?
time.
What?
I'll show you when we're done.
I've never heard of this before.
So he mansplained how to open up. Not only did he mansplain,
This will be good audio.
he grabbed the banana from me and started peeling it for me and handed it back to me like I was fucking 3.
Oh, here it comes.
I did not grab. I didn't. We were in
You
opposite
did.
chairs. I
You
came
got
over,
up, you
she
grabbed
handed it
my
to me,
banana.
and so I took her banana because she'd been wrestling with a fucking banana.
It wasn't
for
wrestling.
almost a minute. For
It
almost
wasn't
a
even-
minute, she was trying to get this thing open. So I came over.
Are
and
you
I
going to
said-
show us a life hack for bananas?
And I said, "Here, everybody knows that you squeeze and pull down, and the banana will open perfectly every single time, quickly. Because when you do it from here, you end up smushing the banana, and it takes forever to get off. It's very tough here. That's how you open a banana."
I would argue that this is not widespread knowledge. There might be some people who know.
I would argue that if somebody is eating food, you leave them alone.
So she asked for my help, even though she's saying she didn't.
No, I
So I came
didn't.
over, I helped her, and I said, "Most people know that this is the right way to open a banana." And I hand it back, and she goes, "Not only is it the right way, but you're gonna have to show me every single time," or something like that.
No, I didn't. I said, no, what I said was, oh, you're not doing it the right way. Or I'm not a control freak. Here's the right way to do that. I was making fun of you. You're a fucking
that's what it
control
was.
freak.
And it's not controlling. If somebody's doing something wrong, they need help, you offer help, and you show them the right way to do it.
That's
Dr.
control
Kelly,
freaky.
Dr. Kelly,
Would you show me on 2 more bananas? Because I'm kind of missed it the first time.
But see, that's when you go into an explanation is when someone says, oh, can you show me the appropriate way to open a banana? I didn't ask you that. I don't want to know. That's mansplaining.
Well, the thing is...
that's dumb. Go ahead.
So you showed us what seems to be... that has never occurred to me. I have not seen that on the internet, and I frequent the internet.
It's the right way to open a banana.
I'm going to try it next time I have a banana. But the second way, the way I've opened it is what you said. I go to the long stem part.
And you wrestle with it.
No, I just snap it back. I break the thing's neck and I pull it down.
See, it's
But
not
you
complicated.
seem to have been describing a third way, which is use your fingernail as a knife and make a slit in
No,
the peel?
so what happened was the neck didn't break fully. So I had to.
Oh, so what you're saying is there
It's
was
like when you're making the Thanksgiving turkey and the thing still
Okay.
running around.
so
Stop
there was
talking.
there was trouble afoot.
Stop interrupting.
There was trouble afoot because it wouldn't snap all the way. Go ahead.
So,
That's the worst
anywho,
when that happens.
so the neck did not snap all the way. So I had to go in there where there was an opening, and I was
You
peeling
had to
it
gut the
apart.
banana.
No, it was like a tiny opening,
stem to
and I just
stern.
put my finger in there, and I was like, "Cool, that's all we're gonna do." And he decided to grab the banana and then fucking just force me to do it a different way. It was just stupid. It was dumb. This is control.
Ian just downed a banana in the time we've been having this
Ian will do
conversation.
that. He can do that.
He likes his potassium.
He likes
like
the
my
food.
I love the
He
food.
won't waste food.
And here's whatever. I walked over to you, opened the banana, and handed it back to you in the time it took you to realize that the neck won't snap right on the banana, and you
And
had to
then
move
you
on to something else.
patronized me
You-
for 5 minutes explaining to me how to eat a banana.
No, I explained for 5 minutes how it's not controlling to show you the right way to do something. It's showing you it's called teaching. Some people get paid for it. I did it for fucking free.
Find us at facebook.com/That's Delightful to weigh in on this conversation. I would love to know.
Hey, there's people out there that know that I'm right when it comes to opening up the banana.
That's fine. I don't want to do it that way. I hope you shove the
Well,
banana
now you don't
directly
have to
up
do
your
it that way.
ass.
Now you don't have to do it that way by choice. You never had the choice to not do it the right way before. Now you know the right way to do it, and you can make the choice to do it the wrong way. And that's more a testament to your character that you would prefer to do things the wrong way because it's, quote, easier instead of doing it the right way. This has really just been eye-opening about you as a person, if
So-
I'm really going to be honest about
In order to be
things.
consistent, like Michelle was saying, if we're going to have a message, let's be consistent about it. If you don't like wasting things, then what are we going to use the banana peel for? Can you fashion a condom out of it? Is it a...
No.
Actually,
you
turn it
cannot
into
fashion
a
unless you
children's
want to use
balloon?
it for you.
You can smoke these, apparently, from what I'm told.
Oh, that's like an old hippie myth, right?
Yeah.
The mellow yellow.
I don't know. Do you want to go play, like, real-world Mario
Now I'm going to
Kart?
Google smoke banana
Hey,
peels.
you guys,
We're going to
that's
gain some knowledge
compost.
today.
It is compost.
It's just compost.
It's
That's how
compost.
you use all of it. There you go.
Hey, thank you, Michelle. Hey, listen. You didn't have to woman-splain it to us like you did, but I appreciate that I now know exactly what this is.
But I like
you
how
for telling
you were
me the
like,
right way to
it
do
is compost. Like,
No,
you're
I was
right.
I was
Good
like
job.
explaining. No, but that's not what it was. I was exclaiming like it is compost. Like, I
And
never
yes,
thought of it like that.
Yes, he has patted my head before. I'm just so you know.
There's
has.
a recipe for
Kelly doesn't even care.
hallucinogenics of banana pills. I mean, it's been disproven. This is not a thing. But you are to scrape off the inside of the peels with a sharp knife,
Okay.
boil it in a pot of water for 3 to 4 hours until it has a solid paste consistency. Spread the paste on cookie sheets and dry in an oven for 20 minutes to half an hour. I wonder if I'm disseminating information that
Probably not. You probably shouldn't.
Anyway, they
There's more, but we're not going to tell
this
you.
was it's kind of like on Breaking Bad when they show them making the meth. They don't show you how the meth comes out all nice and crystal.
Didn't tell you how many cups to boil because then you'll just run out of water.
And anyway, they tested this and found that it was a placebo effect. So basically, I just told you how to waste 4 hours of your life.
A buddy of mine actually smoked banana peels and he said it gave him a terrible headache, but nothing happened. From a long time ago.
So this was a dead end
That's
conversation.
how I know that you hang out with.
Bottom line, Governor Northam should crawl into a hole and die.
All right,
Not
hey,
because the Republicans told him to.
we were going to get to it, but we're running short. So why don't we save shitty fast food workers for next week?
What? We've been talking for like 28
No.
minutes.
You want to keep going? Let's keep going. Okay.
We missed a week of podcasting.
We did miss a week
did.
of podcasting.
We're sorry, by the way.
We'll get better. We will.
And we're gonna.
We've got
we're gonna
transitions in our future.
deliver you up something nice here pretty soon. We're gonna give you a puppet show or something.
Hey, when I get my plasma table in, by the way, and it's going to be in the next couple of weeks, I'm thinking about cutting out That's Delightful bottle openers.
Ooh,
Right? It's kind of cool, right? Mm-hmm. That's Delightful bottle openers or That's Delightful fridge magnets?
Fridge magnets.
You think fridge magnets?
Well, I'm sure people use, but I don't know anybody who uses.
you could have a bottle opener fridge magnet because I'm always misplacing my bottle opener.
Ooh, okay.
Don't you have like a gigantic moose bottle opener?
That's a wine corkscrew.
Oh.
It's a horse with a cowboy hat. It's an old-fashioned corkscrew. You have to screw it in and pull. I do have
I
a
didn't pay a lot of
Predator
attention.
can or bottle opener. It's a Predator, and his mask pops your bottle.
So for the people out there, yes, Kelly has the ultimate bachelor pad.
Yeah.
with all of the tools and the cool things.
Oh, his
that
house?
no wife would ever let him have.
Was a 70s fuck pad
Yeah.
for multiple people at the same time.
There's like 70s ghost jizz on the walls.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't touch any surfaces that I didn't bring in with me.
All right. You were talking about a story earlier about the police being called on McDonald's for what was it, for putting onions on the burger?
Yep.
So he called police.
Yep.
And
So
the
who
police,
called the police?
police did what?
The guy was mad. He ordered a Big Mac and they put onions on it, which is how the Big Mac comes. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
12 beef patties, special sauce. Wait, 12 beef patties, 12 beef patties, special sauce. 12 beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on sesame seed bun. Whoo!
Yeah. Do you remember the record that they sent out in newspapers in the 80s that it was a contest where they they sang the whole menu of McDonald's? You guys don't remember?
I vaguely remember that.
We collected like 10 of them.
I have a whole little snap thing of McDonald's toys from 1983 in the garage
man.
right now. I know exactly where it is if you want me to go get it. Anyway, what happened?
Anyway, so the guy was mad, and then the police came. And the reason that I thought we could talk about it is that I've been tempted to call the police on fast food people before. Now, let's set aside, we can't really set aside, because I'm, again, showing my privilege here. They work for less than a living wage. It is a thankless job. It is also the first job that many people have. So a lot of high schoolers and teenagers have fast food jobs. It's a place where you learn some of the basics of what it is to have a job, to be punctual, to do all the things.
And to be berated by random people.
So there are positives and negatives to it, but I'm a believer that if you have a job and you can do the job, you should do the job right. And too many times there's onions on my damn Big Mac, metaphorically speaking. So I guess what I'm saying is
Gotta nip that in the bud.
Fuck fast food workers.
See, I've spent several years working behind the fast food counter.
BK broiler?
The BK broiler.
The BK Lounge.
BK Lounge.
Give us some insight. Why does one forget to make the order to the specifications of the customer, who, need I point out, is always right?
Well, you tell Chip, who's stoned, that he needs to make 30 Whoppers and one of them needs to have no onions. And it's a very specific one that needs to have no onions. And see him go through all 30 and nail the right one with no onions.
That's fair.
So I think my favorite interaction with a fast food worker ever was I went to